Hello everybody, I'm Prince Philly, and unfortunately I'm a little under the weather. I'm not terrible, but I'm bad enough that like two of my favorite things had to take a hit. One of them being working out. I haven't worked out in 3 days, and that's bad. And the second one is YouTube. This video hasn't taken very much planning, because like I said, I'm sick. And I was trying to think of something I could do on the fly, while also kind of just keeping my 1 a week promise. So let's hope this video isn't terrible. So today's topic is not about books, it's not about journalism, it's actually a bit of a retrospective video. Being black and gay, I get told a lot that there's a political ideological template that I have to follow, and that I should be on the side of typical SJWs, or even be one. And, no. Ew, actually. If I had more time to go into it, I would, but this is the shorthand version of it. I'm actually pretty unaligned. A lot of anti-SJW YouTubers are still pretty left-leaning, or they have at least chosen some side, and I in all good faith can't do that. Actually, I find it funny because George Washington was even like, hey you guys, don't do that, don't split up into two sides and be divisive, and here we are 200 years later doing that. Dude's probably rolling over in his grave. Little known fact, the American Revolutionary War was during a tiny ice age. You guys know that? Yeah. Delaware isn't supposed to freeze up like that. Yeah, when it comes to politics, my family has been always pretty neutral. I grew up during the Bush and Obama years, and it was like seeing black people go, man, that politics isn't for us, we don't got anybody like that up there to represent us. Until Obama got there, and it was like, yeah, now we finally got a brother in the house. And, during that time, I even saw my parents kind of do that. I was raised in the Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses, so that kind of also played a big part in my political identity, as that's a thing within the Hall. So we were taught to be a little impartial. So that's like two things right there telling me to kind of stay away from politics. Once again, once Obama got in the office, though, I began to lean a little bit, I remember being excited that there was a black president. I remember being all anti-Romney. In fact, I remember being super anti-Trump. And I also remember being told to vote for Hillary Clinton, even though the only reason I was told to do that is because she's not Donald Trump. Which, to this day, I absolutely hate that. My first time voting, 1, wasn't my choice. 2, it wasn't for someone I wanted. And 3, they didn't even win. So, it was like, what was the good in it? So what I'm coming down to saying is this. I've always sort of been in the middle of things. Even when I started to lean in a little bit, what I was taught growing up pushed me right back to where I was, even when my parents stopped believing in impartialness too. It's actually to the point I don't necessarily pick a side on anything, really. To be honest, I prefer to just ask questions and help other people learn, I keep saying and a lot. Unfortunately, people tend to be pretty vocal, and the ones that are vocal are the ones who don't know what they're talking about. And maybe I feel like I can help with that. I think I'm going to end this with a criticism of both sides. I'll start with liberals, then do conservatives. In case you didn't know what I was talking about, that's what this whole video is about. So, first thing I want to say is, for the liberals, you guys are not informed. You're not organized, and you go back on your word way too often, and it's annoying, to be quite honest. That's probably why the anti-SJW side of YouTube gets so big, versus when I see SJWs on YouTube, they don't break 10,000. They rarely do, so I don't know. Maybe you guys should just educate yourself, and that'll help. Like, you have all those signs and you like to go and protest, maybe write some facts on it rather than call people racist and homophobic. And then to the conservatives, you guys don't really seem to be doing anything to disavow the accusations of being homophobic or racist or sexist. And, I'm not saying you are, but, like, let's be 100%. When you just say, no you're not, yeah, that's the truth. You guys more than likely aren't. It's actually very rare that somebody really just naturally is like that. And that's a good argument to just say, no, you're not. But this is the real world where facts and evidence trump everything else. Oh, goodness, I said it. But they beat everything else. I'm not the only person who's impartial in this world, and although I find my impartialness to be a little different, there are a lot of people who don't know which way to lean, and when they see people calling those other people racist and sexist, they don't want to get aligned with those people, and therefore that's what happens. I mean, even when Donald Trump was first told about how the KKK was like, oh, he's a pretty cool dude, he didn't say no. He was kind of like, no, okay, fine, I just said it. And no, that's not okay. If somebody says something like that, if somebody says, hey, the KKK thinks you're great, you need to get away from that as far as possible, or as people like me, not people like me, but people who are impartial, like me, are going to get a little, confused. They're not going to know what to do. That's my video for today. I think next week I want to do something a little bigger before my test hits me on Friday. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I had a test today, too. I don't know how I did on that. Maybe this was a crazy time to come back, but I'm still enjoying it. Actually still having a lot of fun. I'm really glad to be back to doing this. So if there's any siblings out there, happy Siblings Day. It's gonna be a little late when I post this video, so this is gonna be old, but happy Siblings Day. Call your brothers, call your sisters, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. In the comments, I hope you guys can tell me about your political ideologies. I love to hear other people's stuff. I have friends who are on both sides of the spectrum, and I prefer talking to both of them just to hear what both people have to say. So, go ahead, talk down there, and, if you don't pick a side, welcome to my channel. I'm always open to people who don't blindly bite BS. There's an alliteration. That was up here. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.